God evening, SOBs. I just saw Lisa in the chat. Actually, I said the chat instead of the chat. It's a night of misspellings and mispronunciations. I saw Lisa just tell everybody God evening, and I thought it would be cool if all SOBs started acting like we were part of a strange Wiccan religion, that when we meet each other, we go, God evening to you. Praise the horned man. Hi, I'm Jared. I am the Dungeon Master referee for tonight's festivities. This is the Stream of Blood where we play tabletop role-playing games. Tonight, you've tuned in to THAC0 Tuesdays. Shout out to Gavin Norman and his incredible little book here, Old School Essentials. This book lets you play BX Dungeons and Dragons, the 1981 Cook Moldvay edition of Dungeons and Dragons, without spending a lot on eBay, and with new tables and a beautiful, easy to follow, layout, so that everybody can very quickly and easily find what they're looking for. It makes it very easy to run a game of old school Dungeons and Dragons. And as we have found out on this show, old school is quite different from 5e. Love my 5e, love it. Ran 2 years of it recently, 2+ years of it. Got my players to level 20. Fantastic game. This is a different experience, a very different experience, as we're finding out on this show. In our first episode, our good buddy Wes from the Ain't Slayed Nobody podcast, he died. He died because there was a combat, and in old school Dungeons and Dragons, you don't want a combat to happen if you can help it, at least at level 1, where all of our characters are, and where they will remain for a while based on the XP system. Let's bring in those players now. Let's bling them in. It's a night of strange misspellings and mispronunciations. Let me bring this guy in first. He is the yin to my yang. He is the captain to my Tennille. He is the Sybil Shepherd to my Bruce Willis in Moonlighting. Please welcome, that's an old school reference, please welcome Clinton Trucks, everybody. Clinton Trucks, hello!
Sorry. I was sitting here trying to think of a good Ying reference to your Andrew Yang, but I couldn't think of a famous Ying.
He is the Ying to my Andrew Yang. How are you on the Andrew Yang ideas? What do you think of basic income for everyone?
You know I do whatever Joe Rogan says.
That's true. You are, politically, you are full Rogan.
Yes, I'm a Roganite. No, I have no strong opinion. Listen, I voted, well, I'm going to absolutely blow my age up in front of everybody. I voted for Ralph Nader twice. That's how old I am.
That's great. Clinton Trucks, young Clinton Trucks. 21 some years ago, fighting for a better world.
That's right.
Taking that election away from Al Gore, giving it to George W. Bush.
I was in Michigan. I did not sway the vote at all, I promise.
Yeah. Well, tonight you're going to sway the vote because, we had to bring in Clinton Trucks to play some games because not only is he a fantastic player, but he can help guide our other players sometimes, some of the players we have through the old school milieu, which is quite a different game from new school games. Are you enjoying your old school forays so far?
I am. I'm super pleased that I have not frustrated you with my careful gameplay.
Look, I mean, it's so lethal, the BX Essentials, that I am completely unfazed by any strategy you take. It makes me happy that you're trying to keep yourself alive, and I know that nothing will do the trick. Eventually, you will succumb to my lizard men. I'm going to bring in our next player. This guy, what a fantastic role player, comedian, host. You may have seen him in Adam Ruins Everything. He has a podcast called Factually that you should check out. He's playing an elf. Please welcome Adam Conover.
And I'm an elf. Yep.
Yes.
Comedian, podcast host, show creator, producer, and today elf.
That's right. It's a class in this version of Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh yeah, this guy is High Prince Fffilbrth. He's not like an elf mage or an elf fighter. He's just an elf. Like imagine if you asked me, Jared, we met at a party, and you said, "Hey, Adam, what do you do for a living?" And I said, "I'm a human."
Right.
Yeah.
Or if you were like, "Hey, Jared, what's your occupation?" and I was like, "Caucasian." Yeah.
Yes, this is D&D from before they took the racism out. This is
Yeah.
Well, I mean, is it more? We should bring in our next player to discuss this, or maybe not discuss it at all. Is it more or less racist to make elf an entire class? I'm the jury's out for me.
It's really speciesist, not racist.
Yeah, I mean, is it speciesist? I need an anatomy chart of elves. How much?
these
How
were
many?
clearly. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, how genetically different are they? There's no way of knowing. You know what I mean? Like they don't.
These are clear analogs to race in America, Jared.
Really?
We know this.
They are.
You know this.
It's established. Did you not go to a liberal arts college, Jared?
I guess I didn't. I wasn't there on that day. I guess I missed that part. Well, I can't wait for Adam to explain this while we play. But right now I'm going to bring in our third player, who I'm sure is really psyched to get in on this conversation. Let's please bring her in before people are like, "Well, I'm not watching these three dorks." She is a fantastic role player, actress. You've seen her on Shudder. You've seen her on her own mothership series, Eclipse, which you should check out. I think you can find it on YouTube. Please welcome the wonderful Josephine Mcadam. Yeah.
Just a quiet head shake.
Yeah, I'd like to go ahead and start apologizing now, and then continue as we go.
That was a lot. Hi,
how are you?
I'm great. I'm very excited to play D&D with a bunch of guys making references I probably won't get.
Well, I mean, certainly that'll be true in Adam's case, but I find that I'm very accessible.
I think you underestimate my lack of pop culture consumption.
Great. I mean, if you're talking about when I was talking about moonlighting at the top, all I was doing was trying to age myself more than Clinton Trucks. There used to be a show with Bruce Willis where he was in a will they, won't they relationship with Sybil Shepherd, and they solved crimes together.
Okay. What were the other references?
I don't know. What else were we talking about, Clint?
Andrew Yang, Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan.
Basic universal income.
Right.
I'm for the basic universal income. I want that. And then if I got that, then I just can play just role-playing games all the time.
Sure.
Do nothing else. Adam?
Yeah, I mean, it's there's a
BUI, Adam?
pros and cons to UBI.
Have you done a factually episode?
We have not done one specifically.
Should we do it
UBI.
right now before we get into the whole D&D thing? Should we do it? Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, you want to talk about UBI? I mean, I had the founder of Give Directly on, which is running a UBI pilot program, and he had some interesting things to say about it.
Everybody check out Adam's podcast. It's great.
You really should. It's very excellent. And also, I would like to say that in the Expanse, UBI is a thing, and I want the Expanse to happen, except for the bad stuff in the Expanse, like alien viruses. Sure. But like,
there's also a lot of underclasses in the Expanse as well, Jared.
Yeah, there's a lot of things not going great.
Okay, you know what? I don't want it to happen, but I kind of like that show.
Oh my god.
Let's go ahead and play some old school essentials. What do you guys think?
That sounds great.
Ready.
I'm not going to do any references to anything in the real world from now on. I'm an elf, baby.
Yeah, we're in the far seas. Clint, throw up some sort of a map because I want to tell people about the Isle of the Sword.
You got it,
You
baby.
traveled many months in a big galleon, a big wooden multi-tiered ship to get here to this place, to the Isle of the Sword, out at the edge of the known world, out in the far seas. This is an isle of rich, verdant, green forests, teeming with life. As your ship docked, a giant flock of birds took off from the trees. There's steep cliffs here. It's an old place shrouded in mist. And after you docked, you climbed up the cliffs with your fellow travelers. There was a old path that had been carved out of the cliffs themselves, and eventually you hopped onto a wagon and you were taken with your fellow travelers to the fort on the far seas, the last outpost of the civilized world here on this island in the ends of the earth. And in this fort, there are all the amenities of home. There's a tavern. There's a tavern with no name. There is the travelers. Look how beautiful it is. Look how gorgeous it is. There's let's zoom in really close, Clinton Trucks. Let's zoom in really close. There look at that gorgeous map. Right there at 15 is the tavern where you spend a lot of your time. 14 is the Travelers Rest Inn. 13 is a beautiful flowing fountain. A little bit of the old world here in this far-flung island. There are shops and there are people selling wares in the different market stalls outside the tavern. You can hear them right now shouting, "Beads, beads, 10-foot poles!" And perhaps you have even at some point visited the temple here, right up against the gates of the Great Keep. The temple to Enkidu, the demigod, the wild man, a patron spirit of venturing out into the frontier. Let's introduce your characters. Right now you are sitting in the tavern. I have Cynedyr, a fighter.
Yeah, indeed. A human fighter. Cynedyr arrived here to the Isle of the Sword with a mercenary company to plumb the various tombs and caverns for treasure. He doesn't know exactly what happened because he woke up a month or two ago with half of his head flattened and in the temple having healed up, and the rest of his mercenary company having left the island, and he's been left behind.
Yes, where he was cared for many days by Curate Uberatu. Curate
right.
Uberatu, the priest of the temple of Enkidu. And so he sits at a table that he's been carving on, and the tavern keeps telling him to stop carving on it, with High Prince Fffilbrth, played by Adam Conover. High Prince?
Yes,
Tell
High
us
Prince
about yourself.
Fffilbrth is, to recap, the prince of an entire elf kingdom over the seas, but they have a tradition where he must leave his home and go on adventures in a...
You're, of course, talking about the Shilfra.
Yes, the Shilfra. Thank you.
It's like an elven Rumspringa.
Yes, Rumspringa is... Imagine Rumspringa. They make reality shows about this in the Elvish Kingdom. And so he's just down to go on adventures and slay beasts and acquire riches and eldritch magical knowledge. And he has a 50-foot rope and a 10-foot pole, and he knows how to cast sleep.
Well, you two are sitting in the tavern as you do most times of the day. And by the way, all old school games begin in a tavern, when suddenly someone comes barging through the front door of the tavern, and that is our friend Josephine as Montgomery Hornbach. Tell me about Montgomery.
So Montgomery's an old asshole. Who is a cleric, worships Cyric, and he's going to see if he can find a group of young adventurers, young and spry, that he can swindle into getting lots of treasures for him.
Excellent. So an old priest comes through the door. What kind of things does our friend Montgomery have on him?
Probably looks, priestly, maybe some light-colored, long, flowy robes, a long gray braided beard with little gems and beads and things in it, and his very squinty eyes. and just bent over when he comes in, but he's also got a war hammer on his back, so he's ready to go.
Nice.
But yes.
Well, he immediately spies these two, and the adventure starts right away without a lot of talking about why people would team up. But there can be like a little bit, but like suffice to say, definitely an adventure happens. But right now, maybe there's like a little bit of talk about why.
Surely, are we going to a cave? Surely, I can whip up a story about how my young nephew has gone missing into these caves, and I need someone to help me.
I think that you can, and I think that you do. And your charisma of 12 means that it's not extremely believable. But Cynedyr and High Prince Fffilbrth need hardly a reason to go to the caves.
The caves
they'll
have
they'll inscribe my name on the scrolls of the ancients if I save this boy.
Right. Yes.
The caves have been what's paying for our hard bread and thin soup. We brought many a copper coin out of the caves not long ago.
Yeah. I mean, let me tell you something. You go into these caves, you just find like a whole bag of coins on the ground, and you just come back with it, and we've done that twice already. So, there's just every cave has a different bag of coins in it.
Yeah, and in fact, while you guys have been hanging out in the tavern, and perhaps even Montgomery has heard this as well. While you guys have been hanging out in the tavern, you heard a rumor that a magic wand, a priceless item of arcane power, was lost in the caves area.
That sounds like something I want.
Oh, what would you do with that?
I'd take it home with me and put it on the mantelpiece.
What a waste!
Priceless.
What a waste! Hey,
Bodo the tavern keep pipes up because he hears you talking about it, and he's like, "If I were you, I'd stay away from any magic. Why, magic? It'll sear your skin and rot your mind. Magic is a malevolent influence in this world. I don't need anything but my right fist and my left fist to get by in this old world. Take it from Bodo the tavern keep."
Yeah, so maybe
We all nod. That's a priceless wand. Shall we?
Yes. I don't
Wait,
know
where
what
do you go? I go. Okay.
Don't touch my carp's table.
So you walk out without really kind of paying attention to Bodo, or, like he was
learning his rich backstory,
a small human connection, and you guys just kind of wander out. Of course, Traven Gorm is there. He's selling his fine artisanal 10-foot poles, or poles of any length. He can cut them shorter if you want.
Oh, Montgomery, do you need a 10-foot pole?
The finest 10-foot poles in all of the world.
This guy, I bought a 10-foot pole from this guy, and let me tell you something. It's 10 feet long.
The Gorm family promise that it will be the exact length that you ask for, and when you poke things with it, those things will move or be affected by the physics of a pole touching them. That is what we promise. That is what we deliver.
Where do you keep your pole?
We carry it awkwardly wherever we go.
It depends on the size, lass. Why, a long pole I carried on my back, but a short pole, why, I might carry it in my pocket.
Here's what we found.
Pack.
Here's what we found. If you don't think about where your pole is, kind of takes care of itself. You can travel through. You might say, how could you get a 10-foot pole into a cave that has twists and turns when the corridor itself is less than 10 feet long? And you know what? If you don't think about it, it just doesn't come up.
You know what I always tell people? Put it in your inventory.
Hey, Jared, will you turn up your mic?
I will. Is that working? Is that better?
I'll wait till the chat tells me.
I'm yelling.
Is mine okay? Oh, whatever. You'll let me know.
Despite Jared's screaming, apparently he's quieter than the rest of us. I'm told it's
How
better.
about now, everybody?
We're good. We're doing it.
Okay, excellent. Now people are gonna be like, a little loud. Could he be? All right.
Yeah.
So you're out. The burbling fountain is there. You can hear the market vendors shouting their wares. You see some of the keep's guards in their blue tabards marching by. The fort on the far seas is a hum with activity, but you're off to the caves. Is that right?
Well, is this a hum worth investigating? Like, is there a hustle and a bustle?
No, I think that there's just a general hum necessary to keep everything operating in the black.
I
All
think
right.
you'll find that no one in this town is worth getting to know.
I couldn't agree more.
From the tavern, Bodo goes, I have quite an extensive backstory if anybody cares.
No. Bodo hasn't left that bar in over 50 years. That's how you get stuck in a day job.
Yeah, he was here when they built the fort, and they just kind of built it around him. And he was like, I guess I wait bar now. No, there's not exactly a hum that seems like an alarm, Cinder. So you can do as you wish. And I know that perhaps Fffilbrth, if anybody has any business in town, now's the time, because once you venture out to the caves, who knows what might happen to you.
Yes, at the end of the last session, Fffilbrth wanted to do a little magical research or see if there was a magic trainer in the town, because he would like to hopefully read magic to his spell book, which currently only has sleep in it.
Would you like to ask around about a magic user?
That would be great. Yes.
Someone who could teach him or talk to him. So I want you to roll a d6. I want you to tell me if you get a 1 or 2. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I want you to tell me what you get. Actually, here's what I want. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm fucking this up. I want you to roll 2d6, okay? And I want you to add your charisma to it. Your charisma modifier. Which is like
charisma,
1 + 1 to +3. For you, it is
+1.
+1.
Oh, and we have a retainer still.
Yes, of course you do. Yes. Yes.
I got a 12.
You got a 12. Well, that means people immediately tell you that that you can find a woman named Chickpea, who has recently landed, who knows a little about magic, and that of course the Castellan, who is sort of the governor of this colony out here on the far seas, the Castellan keeps a mage in retainer as well.
The Castellan. I'll
you
talk
should-
to the more recently landed person.
Luftdannen. That's Luftdannen is your retainer.
Oh yes.
Yes, and he's there with you with his spear, and he's like, "Yes, sir. Here to go in first."
Quick metagame,
Yes,
Jared.
Yeah.
It was pointed out to us in the past week that the reason hirelings are so cheap is that you're meant to share your treasure with them. To which I say, I will never hireling again if that is the case.
Well, Luftdannen is young, inexperienced, and not that savvy a businessman. So,
He's hired.
Whatever price he quoted you, it can remain, but you may meet tougher and more cantankerous,
Savvy,
yes,
'Cause
more
gold
business-savvy
is-
people later.
Gold is experience points here. We're not divvying
right.
up experience points with a fucking NPC.
That's right.
Yeah, it's
Too
not a
valuable.
problem. It's not a problem if they don't make it back out, though.
I think it
true.
becomes harder to hire future hirelings if everyone who leaves with us dies.
Luftdannen says, "Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, your honorship. I don't know what to call a priest of Cyric. Sir, I intend to not come back out and not survive. I fight till I die for the person who hires me. That's my reputation. Clap, clap."
Good on you. Good on you.
What's the money for then?
I hope to one day build a shrine to the many comrades I had that died. Getting out here in the many battles I fought in the campaigns to the west. I hope to honor them. That's what the money's for. That and food, sir.
All right. I'm keeping this guy forever. I think he deserves a cut. He's the best.
He's dying so quickly. All right. So they tell you about this woman named Chickpea. Do you want to check her out, or do you want to go and talk to the Castellan about his mage?
Chickpea, I think. I think I'll get a better deal talking to someone who just landed.
I think so.
Very good. I don't want to role play Allison's character for her, but what I will say is that if you are willing to each time, a couple times when you come back to play the game, you want to try to roll under your intelligence. She will try to teach you read magic.
Okay.
Does that sound fair? So let's do it. Let's do the first one. Let's do roll under your intelligence now. Chickpea is teaching you the only spell she knows. Read magic.
I'll teach her sleep. It's a magic swap. We can do it.
You're in the common room of the Travelers Rest Inn where Chickpea sleeps because she doesn't want a luxury room on the second floor, and she's teaching you what she knows.
I'm just rolling out of my straight intelligence. I handily did it.
You did it. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna borrow something from Blades in the Dark. I'm gonna make a clock with 4 segments. One of the 4 segments is filled. When all 4 are filled, you know how to read magic.
This game is really designed for people who didn't have the internet or anything else to do. Like they want you to stretch this game out.
Well,
That's exactly
sessions are supposed to
right.
be 6 hours long, performed entirely in basements,
Yes.
fueled by this,
Yeah.
and plates of Totino's pizza rolls that your mom brings down.
And you don't go to sleep, and later we're gonna watch Big Trouble in Little China. Okay.
Great.
So you've had your lesson. Does anybody else have any business in town?
No, I'm all adventure. I'm all business, baby.
Okay.
Let's
Luf
go. Let's go. Let's get them killed.
Dannon spends all morning talking to Cynedyr and Montgomery about various spear moves, and you guys are like, yeah. And then finally, our friend High Prince Fffilbrth comes out of his really like fancy boy magic reading lesson, and it is time to hit.
I learned ever so much.
It's time to head out into the wilderness.
Let's avoid the wilderness and just take the safe and well-trod road that we took before, right back to the entrance of the Caves of Chaos.
Oh, you're not there. You're not there yet. Let's see. Before you get there, I have to. So, is everybody heading to the Caves of Chaos?
Yes.
Okay, very good. No problem. Absolutely fine. I'll allow it. Give me one moment. So you head out, and as I must always do, I roll on my encounter table on the way there. So let me describe your way there. There is, as our friend Cynedyr has explained, a worn dirt track that leads to the east. That leads deeper into the island, away from the coast. And to the south of you, your right, you see a teeming swamp, and the smell of it sort of hits you, the humidity of it sort of hits you, because this is a day in the high spring out here on the far seas. So that swamp and all of the buzzing insects of it hit you very hard. It's just south of a river that passes you on your right side. To your left side, to the north, you see a great forest, dark and foreboding, thick. It's been a long time since any kind of civilized race has tried to cut its trees or make a path into this forest. It seems very thick, but you continue to follow that track. Oh gosh, what happened to my roll? Okay, and
What are you rolling in?
I'm rolling in a little glass dish that I blew myself in a glass-making class. No, that's not true.
It's incredibly divisive amongst our fans. Some people
Some
love it,
fans are
some
like, the sound makes my ears bleed. And some fans are like, I get ASMR from it. And sometimes there's a slight amount of sexual arousal.
Oh, no.
It's big. Like,
I want you to have a felted roller.
A felted roller.
Let's
Well, we can see which camp Josephine falls into. Here comes the next
buy
roll.
Jared a dice tower.
Yeah.
Everybody, this is our fundraiser. This is our GoFundMe to buy Jared felting. To buy Jared a roll of felt. I'm calling myself Gerald.
Gerald?
Okay. So as you're traveling out, you do see in the high grass on either side of the dirt track, you see something moving through the foliage, and it's large enough that it's moving the high grass, but it is not. It's not so large that you can see its head or its body over the grass. You spy this thing. Do you want to leave it alone, or do you want to look into it?
I will knock an arrow in my short bow.
Oh, you're so eager. What are you doing there?
This pure precaution. We're going to do what we do every time we see danger. We're going to send Luft to check it out.
Oh, yes, I agree with that's wonderful. Send
I will also
the-
knock an arrow.
Dunk, dunk. Yes, sir. My pleasure, sir. Lufthansa goes running off into the foliage, and as he runs off into the high grass, suddenly out across the road comes a huge boar.
Yo, boy.
You know, a big wild boar, common on this island, squealing and grunting, and it's moving quickly. In other words, you could shoot it if you want, but it might just run off into the bushes and you'll lose it.
Is it heading towards Luft? Or just
No, it's not attacking him. He ran into the bushes and it ran out.
I will let it go. We don't need a
Same.
boar.
Great.
There's no
Nice.
gold in the
Save your
boar's pockets.
strength.
Crosses the dirt track and you kind of see it kind of, hopping off into the south, off into the marsh, and you let it go. And Luft goes, just a boar, sir, but they're good eating.
Well, then why
Fetch a
didn't
price
you?
for them.
Why didn't you get it? I thought you were capable.
I'm sorry,
What's wrong
man.
with you?
I failed you.
Yes, you did. You think about your failures as we move forward here. You can prove yourself in the caves.
Friar, this hireling is very sensitive. We need to be careful how we speak to him. He really takes everything to heart.
And now
I just gotta toughen up.
Lufthansa will make a morale roll.
What?
A morale check to see how he's doing.
Have you hurt his feelings?
Wait, I have to check his morale.
Please tell me if I did. I'll keep track. It's like a scoreboard.
Okay, here he is. No, he's okay. He's okay.
I'll try harder.
But you can tell he seems a little hurt. So you keep traveling, and eventually you find a spot that you've been before, Cynedyr and my friend Lord High Prince Fffilbrth. And as always, I'm going to read a little bit of the text. The forest you have been passing through has been getting more dense, tangled, and gloomier than before. The thick, twisted tree trunks, unnaturally misshapen limbs, writhing roots, clutching and grasping thorns and briars, all seem to warn and ward you off. But you have forced and hacked your way through regardless. Now the strange growth has suddenly ended. You have stepped out of the thicket into a ravine-like area. And here's where Gary Gygax just talks about the footage for a long time, so I'll stop reading. But basically, you have come out into kind of a little valley, a little ravine, and Montgomery and my other friends, you can look up and you can see, and Clint, you can throw the map out there if you'd like to now. Yes, so you're entering from the right side here. You're down on the yellow or brownish portion. That's like the floor of this little canyon. You can see caves. You can see holes, clefts in the rock and in the green hillsides, and there is one directly to your left there at the bottom. But you can also see elevation a little bit. So if something is on one of the outer rings, that means it's a bit higher up, right? So you can see that, like for example, the caves there on the top. you have to kind of climb up a slope a little bit before you get to them. We have already discovered that the cave immediately at the bottom on the inside, on the south side there, that cave contains goblins that our friend High Prince Fffilbrth convinced he was a goblin friend, an ally.
The goblin boss.
Yeah, you're a goblin boss.
I do speak goblin.
Yeah. You also discover that behind that bush, directly beside that cave, there was a hidden cave that led to some treasure and perhaps the home of a stinking ogre, a 10-foot tall monstrosity. You also know that there are pig-like creatures here. And I will allow you to know that from talking to other people back at the fort, you know that those are orcs. The orcs are swine, green-skinned swine-like creatures, and you slew 2 of them last time you were here. And now, I hand the game over to you. Where will you go? What will you do?
So, we were here a few nights prior, and we discovered that these caves go quite deep into the hill. We found ladders and various chambers. We didn't go too deep because we had found a king's ransom, which we took back to the bank. But I believe these various entrances to be interconnected deep in the bowels of Mother Earth.
I see. Have you been through all of them? Which have you entered?
Oh, no. Only the first few feet of a couple, and then we went home.
Yeah. The goblin one, this one right to the left here, there are a bunch of goblins. I am their boss. I speak goblin. I'm very learned.
Oh, that's good for you.
I'm in charge of the goblins. And then up above the goblins, there was a room full of some dark figures called the Masters. And they seemed to be asleep or something. And we left because they seemed, honestly, a little scary. And we thought we would explore a little bit first.
Yeah,
and that's everything that happened.
Okay.
So,
we stole the ogre's treasure, but we didn't kill the ogre.
The ogre also exited from here, crossed the entire floor, and I believe entered this higher cavern up here. So I would call this an ancillary ogre cave.
So possibly we need to avoid said ogre if you have pissed him off, so to speak.
He never saw us, in fact, so we're okay.
His treasure's gone, though.
That is true.
So yeah, we can. I mean, basically, it's pick a hole time, and you know, you're the guest. So I suggest you could pick a hole.
What about that one? What about the third from the top right one?
This would be this hole?
That one.
Oh, sure.
Very good.
Sure.
Right
One hole is as good as another.
That's what they say.
That's what I always say. Yes. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so we're going to that one. Oh, interesting.
The servant goes in first.
Luft Dannen is like, yes, sir.
We're covering
ready.
you, Loof.
Are you? So are you following close to our friend Luft?
Give him like 20 feet ahead of us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And let's move from greenery to greenery. Just kind of, no reason to stay in the open unnecessarily.
I am proud of who I am. I walk in the middle of paths.
You walk in the light of the gods here.
You do. Okay. Understood.
Sure. Yes, that's light. Yes.
Absolutely understood. Okay. So here I'm just I just have to do a little bit of bookkeeping here, and you head over to that area. I know exactly the one you're talking about. But you said, my friend, that you're jumping from greenery to greenery. Is that correct, Cinder?
Just staying, no reason to be in the open unnecessarily. So, but since there is some cover, I'll use it.
Okay, and my friend High Prince Fffilbrth, are you also staying in the greenery, like running from greenery to greenery?
I don't wish to dirty my fine boots, and I'm unafraid. So I will also
Well, I have to
just
tell
walk
you-
along.
When it's just me, I look very silly.
Yes, we are watching. Yes, it's good entertainment.
Very good. Okay, so when you head, can I see the map again, if you don't mind, my friend? When you head to this little bush that is kind of like out in the greenery, but it's not in the center. Do you see the one that's kind of up against the? Yes, exactly. So when you head over to that, you suddenly realize that you have found a cave. You're kind of
Hell
hiding
yeah.
in it as our friend Montgomery just strolls through the center. And when you come to there, you have found a cave, and not only that, but you need to roll for surprise.
Oh boy. So something in the cave found me.
Yeah, baby. You need to roll for surprise because there was a cave there you didn't realize.
What am I rolling, sir?
Surprise, I want you to roll a d6 if you don't mind.
Got it. 3.
Great. I rolled a 3 as well. Neither party is surprised. You turn and you realize that up above you, like in the little greenery that you're kind of hiding in, there are tiny little humanoid creatures. And they have like long snouts and little leather caps and little leather jerkins. And they look a little bit like geckos or like the kind of lizards that you find when you're walking around in Los Angeles sometimes that kind of run out from under you. And there are... Let's see how many there are. Oh, there's just one. There's just one in this tree. In this kind of like greenery, like looking down at you. And when it sees you, it immediately starts to kind of like...
Shoot it.
Like scramble down back into its little hole.
Nope.
Yes. Okay. So let's roll initiative. That means that we both roll a d6, and then whoever rolls higher gets to act first.
5.
I mean, Clint, I could talk to this. If this is a kobold, I can speak to it. And
Too late. I'm killing it.
Here we
Okay.
go.
It is
So
classic
what did you
D&D.
roll, Clinton Trucks?
5.
That's exactly what this creature rolled. So I'm going to
Are
say
we-
that
Best friends?
I think we're in love. The creature looks at you, and your eyes meet its eyes, Cinder. And you look deep into each other's eyes, and the Cure's pictures of you starts to play. I've been looking so long at these pictures of you. And
How
there's
many
just-
references that make us seem old are we going to make today?
It's old school. We're allowed. So,
Thank you for keeping track.
There's just
Josephine.
this like very human moment between you and the creature, and that only happens when two creatures roll the exact same initiative score. So there's just like suddenly this deep connection, and I'm gonna rule that everything happens at once. So if anybody's doing anything, they can do it, but this thing is running back into its little, it's in a quite tiny cave. This cave might only be 4 feet, a crack that's about 4 feet high.
I put an arrow in it.
Okay, give me the attack roll.
You got it.
I'd like to ready a pipe to smoke.
Oh, baby. 19.
Hey,
that
you
in
know
your
what a
pipe and smoke
19
it.
will do? Without a doubt, hit this creature. A 19 will hit this creature for
Just
sure.
Slaughtering scrubs.
Let me make.
He's a
double
scout.
sure,
He's
but
going to go and tell all the other kobolds. We gotta
do
that's why
your
you gotta
damage,
know.
please, sir.
The short bow does 1d6, and I have no additional missile bonus, so 5 damage.
Okay. Just making sure everything's copacetic. Yeah, you not only hit him, you kill him. He has only 2 HP. So you fire your bow. He falls out of the tree. His lizard-like
catch him?
tongue. Yeah, you can catch him if you roll under your dexterity right now.
Well, that doesn't seem super likely, but let's see how it goes. Now, another 19, so no.
No, a 19 is it's good, right?
That's why I was supposed to
Oh no,
roll
you need to
under
roll
my
under. Yeah.
initiative.
Okay, so it falls out of the tree and it flops to the ground, and you're on top of him right away, and he is quite dead. You did 3 more damage than you needed.
Excellent.
To take him down.
I will search his tiny pockets.
All right. Let's look and see what he has. Yeah, I like that table.
I should mention, because Josephine stepped away, she just says she is following and smoking a pipe if called upon.
Very
But she
good.
understands.
So while you're doing this, Montgomery sits back like puffing on a pipe out in the middle of the valley. You find a tin mug on him.
Okay.
And his weapons.
Okay,
He
good.
has a sling. He has a primitive sling. And what you might call a spear, it's really more of like a little wooden javelin that he would use to poke people in their sensitive areas.
All right. I will take him and hide him in the brush and go and speak to Montgomery and the High Prince Fffilbrth and say, a scout. I've stopped him, but these hills have eyes.
I've seemed very bored. Yes, incredible work. You're such a great warrior. Thank you for. Wow.
I retrieve my arrow
You did
too,
that?
Jared.
You did that? Wow. Stuff him and mount him.
Great. So that has been handily dealt with. You know that there is a cave there now, but are you heading on to that
Yes.
area that you pointed out before?
I never stopped.
Luft Dannen's already up there. Luft Dannen is up there.
Yes, I gotta keep an eye on this youngin' ahead.
Yeah,
I had an adventure and no one cares. Fine.
Was it an adventure though?
Okay, you
Was
can go
it
home
really?
if you're done. If that was enough for you, leave.
If he had had more than a tin mug, I'd have considered it.
Okay. So this cave, Luftdannen looks back down at you and he goes, well, actually, he comes rolling down the slope again back toward you, and he goes, I don't know. There's a passage to the right and a passage to the left. I didn't see anything interesting. It's pretty rough.
Did you use the pole?
I should I have poked around with the pole?
Always poke around with the pole.
Yeah.
You're going to have us walk straight into a trap?
Okay,
What do
yes,
we-
sir.
What do we hire you for?
Yes, sir.
Did you
All right, here I go.
hire an idiot? Where'd you find this one?
Luftdannen runs back up, and he goes back into to the mouth of the cave, and he kind of sticks his 10-foot pole into the cave for a little bit, and nothing. He looks back. He's like, nothing.
Better
Okay,
safe
I
than
mean,
sorry.
let's go in the cave, I guess.
How's the path up into the cave?
So there is some greenery here. Can we see?
It's a bit of a scramble up the hill. I guess.
You're going for the one that's kind of on the north side here and up, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there is some greenery here, but you can avoid it easily. You can kind of climb up, and that first little slope there, that's like walkable. Like it's tough. You have to kind of climb a little bit, but you can get up there no problem. So is everybody?
Can I get Luft? Can I convince Luft to just carry me to the mouth of the cave?
Of course, it'd be my pleasure. Your holy ship.
This is just for the benefit of the chat. Josephine has the best stats of any of us, and she's making a man carry her. I just want to let everybody know that.
Well, I got good stats.
I know, and then I saw Josephine roll her stats. She's
oh my
great.
gosh.
He climbs. He climbs with you. He lifts you, and he climbs up. Carries the old father. He's like, I know your weary bones can't handle such a steep incline, your holy ship.
That's right,
and
child.
He deposits you in front of the cave mouth, This cave, yeah, I mean, this cave, it looks very rough inside. The Goblin Cave, for example, had like graffiti and looked like it had been worked a little bit when you were there earlier. This one seems very kind of rough hewn. And as Lufdanen described, Lord Fffilbrth, if you have reached gone up the slope, you can see with your 60 feet of infravision that, as he described, there is a passage to the left and a passage to the right.
This is a non-worked cavern. I will look for signs of animal life, scratches or scat or track.
That is very interesting. So, let's do this. You don't find any.
Great. Let's head in. And when offered two choices, always take the left.
I'm going to hold up my holy symbol and Sirik, guide me, and
like
hold to the right and to the left, and then I roll a die, and I like, why to the left? I feel the right calling to me. Would you question my holiness?
Never. Fffilbrth is DFW.
Is that the shoe store?
Yes.
Okay, I'm not going to get into a religious argument with Friar
What does your
Hornbach.
God tell you,
left.
sir? What does your God tell you, Father?
That is not for anyone with such a small mind as yours to comprehend. That is why he speaks through me to me. That is, you are not chosen. Lunt, you just go first. Lunt? Luft? I don't know your name.
Left?
I apologize.
Luft.
Luft. It's probably going to be difficult. Luft, don't go left. Go right.
Very good, sir. It's pretty dark. Can anyone light the way?
Do we want
I mean, I
to...
see in the dark, but if you
Yeah.
need to, I suppose we can. I'm sorry. I forget that not everyone can see in the dark. It's a special elf thing.
So is his only weapon a spear?
He has a spear and he has a bow if he needs to fight at range.
All right. It sounds like I need to go with him and hold the torch because he needs both hands for both of those weapons.
Just strap it onto his back or something, or to his head.
Just tape a burning torch to him.
So you guys take the left passage, and you haven't gone very far.
Josephine's God said to take the right passage.
I'm sorry, the right passage is what I meant to say. You guys take the right passage, and you haven't gone very far. I'd say maybe 15, 20 feet. When you come to another fork, there is a left passage and a right passage again.
Let's check the consistency of your God.
It's always go right. It's the right way. It's the right way.
That's true. We should follow one wall is the best way to exhaustively explore a cave.
Very good.
That's right.
So just to understand the marching order, I have Luft, then my friend Cynedyr, and then I have Fffilbrth, and I'm guessing Montgomery quite far back behind them, like almost back at the entrance to the cave. Is that correct?
Yes, I suppose I should have a torch. Otherwise, I'm going to hold on to the back of Fffilbrth's backpack in an annoying manner.
I mean, why don't I go in the back because I have infravision. I don't need to hold a torch.
Well, is there an extra torch for our friend Montgomery Hornbach?
Sure.
I have torches.
Oh, very good.
I don't want to hold one. Can I just tie a rope?
Your
Do I have a-
refusal
do I
to
have a
walk
rope?
or hold things is incredible.
Does anyone have rope?
I got rope.
Yes, we do have rope.
Could you just loop it around Lunk here? Luft.
Okay, so the priest is just now has Luft leashed. But I'm still gonna say it is. Then I'm gonna say it's going to be Luft, Cinder, then Montgomery, and then our friend Fffilbrth keeping up the rear with his infravision. And so Luft now continues to the right. He moves strategically, tactically, and with great caution into this passage. And as your torch lights this cavern, my friend Cinder, you see that the walls and ceiling of it are covered in feathered creatures with long needle-like beaks. I mean, their beaks are just like one huge, like, giant syringe. And as your torch lights the inside of it, their eyes light up amber, like they catch the light, and they swarm. They start flapping around and diving at you. There are 13 of them, and they begin attacking. Roll initiative.
Sweet fuck, Jared.
Do we all roll initiative?
6.
Just your side and my side, because it's just a D6 roll, and you guys get to go first. So, Cinder, you saw that, and you were able to yell out a warning or something, and you're able to act before these things start acting.
So,
flee.
This is probably a silly question given the rule set we're using. Are we attacking these individually or as a swarm?
Clinton,
Good question.
you're attacking 13 creatures individually. But
Then I run. That's
but your
too many.
character wouldn't know that.
I let go of the rope, turn around to Fffilbrth and say, "They're lost. They're lost. Leave them. Let's go. Turn around."
Great. Luft Danon is going to start attacking.
No.
What? No,
God
Luft,
damn,
flee.
you idiot.
Okay, you're yelling at him to flee?
Yeah.
All right, he only attacks one and then he'll flee.
Fly, you fool.
Trademark.
We must get out of here.
Okay, let's see.
Josephine's voice is so much fun. I'm like, maybe I want to do a voice now.
Um,
I usually don't
so
do a voice,
he-
but you're clearly having fun with your voice.
He misses the thing. You guys are all able to flee. I'm going to go ahead and say you have enough movement to get back to the entrance to the cave, but you're not out of it yet. Okay? Except, actually, I'll let Fffilbrth and Montgomery be out of it because they said that they hung back quite a bit.
Sure.
But Cinder, you're at like the ingress to the cave, and now these things are going to attack Luft Danon. Here they
It's gonna be
go.
attacked 13 times.
That's the fear. Yeah. That's why I wanted swarm rules.
Let's roll 1, roll 2. Here comes 3. Only 10 to go, Luft. Don't worry.
That one hit him.
This guy's dead. Goodbye, sweet Luft.
Actually, how long is that rope that you gave me? Was there the ability to just keep going, like while having
50
held it,
feet.
but just without?
Do you pull him out?
I don't
Reel
know
him
how
out?
long. No. I don't want to pull him out. I just want to.
I don't want to pull him to safety or anything like that. I just want to throw my
No.
Every little link is Luft dying another time.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, you guys, you're back at the entrance. Fffilbrth and our friend Montgomery are outside. Montgomery, if you'd like, I'll say that you still have his rope. Would you like to pull him back?
Oh, wait for it to go to lose tautness before I pull it back. I just don't want to lose a good rope. You know.
Okay. New round. Your turn.
I didn't get an action, Jared.
Well, you were running away, I thought.
Okay, great. Then yes.
Do you want to do something else?
No, if I can just run, I will do that.
Then you do so, and you make it to the entrance of the cave,
Huzzah.
as I specifically narrated earlier.
Very specific.
Wow.
So you reached. Now it is your round. Would you like to do something else, Clint? Since you're so action hungry.
I mean, this is how action hungry I am, Jared. I run to the mouth of the cave and immediately turn to the right or left, whichever is closer, and throw myself against the side so that this swarm can fly out past us.
Great. Fffilbrth, what would you like to do?
I guess I'll also wait. So I'm in the passageway.
You're a little bit outside. I said that you guys were a little bit back when it all happened, so you can run outside if you want. You're right outside.
Okay. I would like to run just a little bit. I want to go back to the fork in the road.
My friend,
You know
you're
what I mean?
all the way out of the cave. You guys were a little bit back, and I thought that you want to. Do you not want to go back outside? You don't have to.
No, that's fine. No, happy to be outside. Then I'll do the same thing that Clint Trucks did, and I will plaster myself on the side of the hole.
Very good, Montgomery Hornbach. No problem.
We're outside.
Yes, you are outside. You had enough
Of the
you,
whole
you weren't
cave.
far enough in. You
Oh
could-
yeah,
you-
I don't see reason to plaster. I will just turn left and find a nice rock to sit on.
Very good. So Montgomery Hornbach just sits down on a rock as you guys kind of like, FBI agent to either side. And Luft will follow orders. Oh, thank you if you're just joining us, if we've just been raided. We are playing Old School Essentials. It is 1981 style Dungeons and Dragons. It's super lethal and super stupid. And right now, this party went into a cave in the Caves of Chaos and is being attacked by a swarm of sturges. So your hireling comes running out of the cave, and he's got two of these bird things with their needle-like beaks, like all the way like up in. One is up in his chest, and one's like in his neck, still like flapping against his neck. And even though he's been like a really tough guy the whole time, right now he's going ah, 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 and screaming like a girl and like flailing his arms. That's his action. You've all taken your action, which is to kind of get to either side of the entrance so the swarm doesn't hit you, except for my friend Montgomery, who just sat down on a rock.
What
Let's
to
see
the
what
left of the entrance? Is I said a
To the
hang a
left of
left.
the entrance. Let's see how they feel when they
And
start
sit.
swarming out into the open.
Yeah, can I if I've still got access to the rope, I don't know what the length, what your ruling is, but if he's gonna run out past us, can I hold it taut?
Right. You want to like keep him from like falling down the slope. Is that what you're doing? Because you have the hireling tied to a rope right now, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
So certainly, yeah, you can kind of like keep him on the end of your rope, and you can all see that like he looks very pale, and these weird bird things that are flapping against him are like kind of like expanding in size, and their color is changing. Like they're going from like kind of a pale yellow to like a bright pink and red, and yeah. Okay. Finally, finally they like disengage from his neck and abdomen, and like there's a geyser of blood from where they've left him, and he just flopped to the ground, extremely dead. And that's when the birds come swarming out. The sturges come swarming out of the cave. Let's see if they notice
Two
or
of these
care.
birds killed him, and there's 13 of them.
So, they do care that you're here. I'm sorry, that is what my role has told me. And so, to start, the two that got off of him see other prey here, and there's only one other out here because that's what I just rolled on my die. So, they're flying toward each of you, but I'm going to say it takes a turn for one to come out of the cave and for the other two to get off of our friend Luft. R.I.P. Luftdannen, and attack each of you. So you guys can go ahead and have another round before that happens. Keep in mind
How
that
many?
Montgomery is tied to a dead man right now.
No, I am not
holding it.
tied. I am sorry. Whoa. I am holding a rope that is tied to a dead man.
Right.
Guys, is this sleep worthy? I got one cast of sleep today, which is the get out of combat free card.
I
But there's
think
only three of them.
Let's do
Just
do the
three of
fight.
them?
Do the fight. I'm
Yeah,
excited about it.
yeah. Sleep is for emergencies. Okay.
And the two of them that are that have gorged themselves on Luft's sweet life's blood, like they're probably like heavy.
They're
right?
full.
Like they probably
Yeah, like
they're full.
They're flying, but you can tell that like it's like taking them like a little extra like effort to like kind of float up off of his body. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, fine. Let go of the rope. Take the warhammer.
Is there any reason, Jared, 'cause not knowing the combat rules here, that I would prefer to use Ranged versus melee on these birds.
That would be giving things away. But what I will
Okay.
say is that it makes sense that you would not want to get near them because they,
Just
if
killed a
they
man.
hit, they suck your blood out of you until you die, like they did to Luft.
Okay, so I'm
In the
gonna
most
shoot one
gruesome way
with my.
imaginable.
I'm gonna shoot with my bow.
Good idea. So we're gonna start with we did initiative. Oh no, we haven't. Let's roll initiative. Or no, wait, it's just your turn. I already rolled initiative at the beginning of the whole encounter. So what are you guys doing? You can do movement and then missile attacks. So is anybody moving first of all?
Do we need
Run
to move
away.
to engage?
No, they're right on top of you right now.
Okay.
Luft's body
Okay.
was right there, and the one that's flown out is right on top of you. You need to move away from them if you want to have less of a chance of them attacking you.
Sure.
Should we?
Clinton Trucks, what is Cinder doing?
Cinder is going to
Is he moving?
no, just
Okay,
attacking.
then never mind. Fffilbrth, are you moving?
Fffilbrth is gonna move to missile range, to shooting them with an arrow range.
Great.
So
Fffilbrth runs along the ridge a little ways so that he can kind of get a little bit away from them and get within missile range. Montgomery, what are you doing? Movement-wise.
Coward. Don't move.
Montgomery stays with lazily sighing as he pulls his warhammer off of his back. Okay, now it is time for missile attacks. You may go ahead and make your missile attack, Fffilbrth.
great. And so I'm just rolling a d20 here with my.
You got it, buddy.
THAC0 time. It's THAC0 time.
It's THAC0 Tuesdays.
I rolled an 8.
Great. These things, you need better than an 8 to hit them. So you miss. Your arrow
Or equal an
flies. What's that?
Or I could equal 8. Huh?
No, it doesn't. No, an 8 didn't work.
Okay.
No.
Sometimes
No,
it's or equal to.
Yeah, but it's not equal to. Now it's time for anybody to cast a spell that's going to cast a spell. No?
Nobody has spells.
And now it's time for melee attacks. Let's start with Cinder.
I will sword and shield, sword and board style, slice one of these dirty birds out of the air.
Very good. Go for it.
15.
That's
Plus 1, 16.
Is a hit.
All right. My sword does 7 damage. No, plus
And-
1. 8 damage.
Yeah, you just slice through this thing. Feathers go everywhere. This is one of the ones that was feeding on Luft, so suddenly blood spatters out of it. It's like you popped a water balloon full of blood.
Does it look
Luft's
super boss when I
blood.
do it?
Does it look what?
Super boss.
Yeah, it looks boss. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. It
I'm
looks
trying to
boss.
impress these guys, and these guys really don't seem at all impressed by me.
And now it is
You're trying to impress us.
Montgomery.
You're the only
Wow, so
one
you
here.
killed
if
you killed a
you are
tiny
making a
lizard
melee
and a
attack-
drunk bird. Wow.
If you are making a melee attack, Montgomery, it is your turn.
Okay. Yes, I am. I'll walk up and swing with my warhammer at one of the full birds, I guess.
Go for it.
Oh, it's a nat 20.
A
21.
nat 20.
Oh, shit.
Montgomery, I'm going to rule with your nat 20. I want you to roll your damage, but I want you to roll it twice if you don't mind.
Okay, what is my damage for a
I'm over here trying to look super boss, and Josephine rolls the
Yes,
die one
it's-
time against the nat 20.
Step aside. Try harder.
Your Warhammer's damage
It's
is
a D6, I think.
D6,
Yeah. Okay, 9 damage.
9. Oh, beautiful. Okay, and you can roll it twice.
That was a D6 twice.
Oh, I'm sorry. So here's what's going to happen. If you'll accept this ruling, I think that Montgomery swats one of them and swats the other. They fall to the ground dead without popping. Plunk, plunk. So the 3 that were out there, nothing happens. They're gone. They're taken care of. Thanks to old Montgomery and old Cinder. And now let's see how many more swarm out of the cave.
No.
One more swarms out of the cave. And let's see if it notices you.
Really like all these ones.
Yeah.
It notices you as well. I'm gonna rule that this one once they come out, they need a turn before they can attack. So it's your guys' turn again. Let's start with movement. Anybody moving?
I mean, I guess I'm still at
You're still at range.
range away. Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as we're in range to melee.
Very good. Then let's go with missile attacks.
Okay, rolling. A 14.
A 14 hits. Do your damage.
Okay, great. This is a 1d6. A 3.
3 kills it. Pop. You pop it like a balloon. It has a lot of old blood in it, so it's more of like a dusty explosion than like a wet, bloody explosion, and it flops to the ground. There are no more combatants, but would anybody... I mean, you guys have already called movement, so I'm just going to see... This is the third round that things come out of the cave. Let's see... this time 5 come swooping out of the cave. And now I call for movement. No, wait. First I do morale. First I do... to see if they notice you, actually. They do. Movement, anybody?
Sleep.
Are you going to cast sleep?
Sleep.
Okay, so let's see. It's movement first, then missile attacks, then spell casting. Do we want to just skip to where Fffilbrth casts sleep on them?
I think so.
Okay, so everybody kind of holds back and is kind of, blocking. You've got your shield up, Cynedyr. These things come swarming out, 5 of them. Let's see. It was just like 9 of them so far. And go ahead and cast sleep. How many?
Okay, so sleep. Want to make sure I have this right. I'm going to cast it. I can target a total of 2d8 hit dice of creatures that have less than 4 hit dice. So these have less than 4 hit dice each. So so I rolled 2d8. Okay, here I go. I'm rolling it. A 10.
So Fffilbrth is like, fuck this, and then all of a sudden they all go flunk to the ground, like all in like a cloud of 5.
Great.
And that was the last round I was going to keep them swarming out. I think that there are probably still some back in that cavern that didn't come swarming out, but the ones that are out here are...
All right, we kill them.
Yes. Can we smack them?
Oh yeah.
Whack a
Montgomery's doing
dirge.
whack-a-mole on the ground right now. You guys are making a big, gross mess. There's these. It's a Jackson Pollock painting of Sturge
popping ticks.
Yes,
Could I,
exactly.
Reel in the rope, drag Luft's body over.
Oh, you drag Luft's body.
You don't
over.
get up from the rock. You just drag.
This is
it.
No,
his body. Your
I'll
body
sit
is,
back down. Yes.
Ivory white, like completely drained of blood.
Okay.
We search his
yeah,
pockets. We
I'll
find
take-
a love
Whoa,
letter.
whoa. Hold on. There's got some holy rites. So I take out some holy water and just get some on the hands and sort of like pat, but also check pockets. Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, it looks like Cynedyr was there with the check the
Yeah.
pockets right away too. So you guys can divide up what you find, which is basically only what you paid him before, my friend.
But I say to
extremely-
Cynedyr, have you no respect for the dead?
He probably would have gotten away if you hadn't been holding him back from with a rope.
I would do no such thing.
Agree to disagree. Let me find him, and I'll tell you how much gold you get back because you paid him a down payment to kind of
This is
get him out
extremely
here.
low-born behavior.
Oh, here he is.
Oh, hang on. I think we just found a game-breaking bug in this entire system. We paid him with gold. Now that he's dead, we get it back. It's XP.
Ooh.
I don't. Well, maybe.
Great way to farm some XP.
Right?
Anyway, I could be wrong, but I think he cost 1 gold to start him on his
That is correct. Yeah.
on his journey. So you get 1 gold back. Good luck dividing that, Cynedyr and Montgomery.
Hey, we're pooling our resources.
Yeah.
He
we have
also had
one
a
bank
spear
account.
and a longbow, and he had some armor. He had chainmail.
Whoa, that's very valuable, actually. So that stuff.
No, wait, not chainmail. I was wrong. Sorry. Especially when you yell at things are valuable, I'm going to make them less valuable.
Nope.
Leather. He had leather. He's a
Well,
light footman. A light footman.
still has some value. So we'll take all of the gear that is of some value, pack it up in a bundle, and leave it out here by the mouth of the cave. We can grab it on the way out.
And while you're doing all that, I'll roll on the monster table to see if any wandering monsters find you guys.
Jared
Just
hates
wandering.
when people hold still.
Isn't this
You know how
fun?
monsters wander? Like, because when you're in your lair for a little while, you go, oh, I got to stretch my legs and wander a little bit.
Oh, that's an interesting roll.
Monsters are like, I want to go for a walk.
Are you done with Lunk's body here?
Did you have plans for it?
I was just can I take it and drag it to the like middle of this like valley or wherever that we're in, just drag it just so
Well,
it attracts other things first.
Aren't you a priest? Shouldn't you do some religious stuff?
you guys
I
are
just say
looting
that I was a
Loof's body.
priest.
You're looting Loof's body. You're arguing about whether to, the priest is going to like dangle the body out to attract monsters or whatever. But it turns out you didn't need to attract monsters because something is roaring and lumbering toward you across the valley right now. It has a big hanging, swinging belly, big, grotesque udders on its front, a manatee-like face, and a giant bone club, and it's about 10 feet tall, and it's going.
That's
And
what I
it's
should have saved
charging
sleep
toward you.
for.
Is
this
it
the-
the same ogre we saw last time?
It is the same ogre you saw last time.
God.
Is it too big to enter the mouth of the cave that we just came out of?
Oh, what a very interesting question.
That's
I'm
what
going
I
to
was
say
wondering.
that it will have a little trouble. This is about a 7 to 8 foot high cave entrance, and it is 10 feet tall.
Guys, choke point. Let's get inside the cave.
To the
Pepper it
left.
with arrows.
Okay.
Pepper with arrows till it gets to us. When it comes in and has to bend down, we hack it to pieces. Pure profit.
Sounds great.
That sounds like a job for two young, spry adventurers. And
I can see your character sheet, Josephine. You're so good.
but I have no ranged weapons. That you didn't give me any ranged weapons.
That is actually true.
That's an excuse not to get into combat. Are you going to? So if I understand you correctly, you are going to run into this cave, and then there's that first fork. Are you going to wait right at the fork for it?
Yeah, I think we step into the mouth of the cave. We can see its approach. We're in the dark. It's in the light. We start hitting it with arrows until it reaches us, using the distance to try and
Great.
get those hit points down.
Well, let's see. It's climbing. You can hear it climbing the slope now. Where's Montgomery? So I have Fffilbrth
Right.
and Cynedyr back at that fork or back inside the entrance to the cave. Where's Montgomery?
Inside the entrance of the cave, just a few steps into the left side to find another nice sitting nook.
Very
It has
good.
been pointed out that we got a bow from Luft. We have an extra
A longbow.
For,
But this is the problem with fucking old school rules. Josephine can only use blunt weapons. She has no proficiency.
Look,
She's a
look,
cleric.
I like to cause bleeding through blunt force trauma. I don't like it when it cuts even.
You're like a crunch.
The
Yes.
scene I'm envisioning is Fffilbrth going, "Here's a bow, take it," and the priest is like,
Eh,
"It's not really. That's kind of against my religion."
You know what would be useful is if the good father would make certain that none of these mosquito birds attack us from behind, because there are, by my count, still 4 of them back there.
The good father's just eating pizza.
yeah.
The thing starts coming up the slope.
All right, let's do
And,
this plan.
I like this plan enough that I'm going to give my players with the ranged weapons at least one free attack against this creature.
Okay. Should we do it?
I'm going to do it.
Montgomery will
comes
look
mine.
to the back, but I'm still going to sit down.
Very good.
13.
You're watching for the Sturges. 13 and 14. Okay, let me see here.
My
Here's
THAC0's
my
19.
man. 13. Wait. So, Cynedyr, what did you roll?
I rolled a 14.
And what did you roll, Fffilbrth?
13.
So, Cynedyr, you hit.
Oh, dear. Okay.
But I do not.
You do not.
That's a bet. This thing's so big.
Yeah, right? So I rolled a 5 damage.
5 damage against this man. Okay. Oh, boy. This is getting really fun. Okay. Your arrow is just sticking out of, like, because you can kind of see him from, like, the top and the shoulders mostly as he's coming up the slope, and your arrow is just kind of like sticking out of one of his shoulders as he continues to climb and bellow like a hippopotamus. And then he gets up to the cave, and as you very well strategized, it's a little short for him, so I'm going to rule that you get one more free attack as he tries to kind of cram himself down into this cave.
Well, my free attack, I'm going to make a sword attack as opposed to a bow attack.
Okay. You also, I just want to say before you take this attack, he's about to get in melee range. If you wish, we can go as usual, movement, missile. You know what I mean? But what do you?
Yeah.
You'd rather do that. Okay. So now I'm calling for movement.
Okay. I go deeper into the cave.
Okay, do you go deeper into toward the Sturge cave? Keep in mind there was a fork over there, or do you go to the left side? You know, when you first came in, there was a fork, and you could have gone to the left, but you went to the
left side.
Okay, very good. So,
what about you? Could go bad very fast.
What about you, my friend Cynedyr?
I'm going to, while he is still climbing through the slightly too small hole, go at him with my sword.
Wow, great. Okay, so in a moment when we resolve a melee attacks, you'll do that. Montgomery, any movement?
Yes, I'll get up. And,
great.
I'll go and try to I take my oil flask and go and try to dump it on the ogre. Is that what this is?
It's an ogre.
The ogre's feet. I'd like to douse its feet in oil.
Oh, excellently done. Okay, so that'll happen on melee. Well, you move up to him. And then we have missile attacks. Nobody's making one of those. Or are you making one, Fffilbrth?
Yeah, I'm making one. I already rolled it earlier. I got a 6, so I believe I failed.
The arrow flies past its silhouette, which is outlined by the sunlight outside. And now I'm going to let my people get into melee range. And first your sword attack, and then you'll spray oil on it automatically, my friend Montgomery, because you don't have to roll to do some of those things in this style game. So let's have that sword attack, though, Cynedyr.
All right. 14 again.
That's a hit.
Okay. That's the stuff. I rolled an 8, and I get a +1 to melee, so 9 damage.
Oh, damn.
That's the stuff
son.
Right there.
Okay. He's hurt.
Yes.
And now it is Montgomery's turn. You spread the oil on the ground?
On its feet, yes. On
Okay,
its big
at his
ogre feet.
You sprayed flammable oil at its feet. Now it's its turn to act. It will, of course, attack our friend Cynedyr. Oh, wait, no. It will do morale first because it's been pretty badly hurt. It'll do morale, and then it will attack. Let's see. Morale, guys, if you don't know, every monster in the old school rules has a morale score of 1 to 12. You roll 2d6, and you see if you roll under its morale. If you roll under it, it keeps fighting. It keeps fighting, and so it is going to attack our poor friend Cynedyr Ooh, I'm worried about Cinder, everybody.
Me too. I know how many hit points I have. I know how many hit points I
How
don't
many do
have.
you have, Clint? So everyone else
I-
knows.
5 hit points.
I got 3.
What is your
You have
AC?
3?
I have 3 hit points.
My
What is
AC is 6, but I'm using a shield, so it is 5.
Your AC is 5. Yeah, it hit you.
Motherfucker.
It hit you. Its big bone club comes down on Cinder, and here comes its damage. Boy. Oh, God. This is going to be tough.
You guys, it's hurt. You're gonna be fine. You can do
What
this.
die? What die is this? What die we
D8.
rolling?
He
Woo,
has a D8.
baby! It's
This is
okay,
a
Clint. You
giant,
got
and he
you
has
got
a
a
giant
5. You got a 50-50 chance to not have your character die right now.
Cinder, how many HP do you have?
5 hit points.
Cinder, the bone club comes down on you at your neck and shoulder. It does 5 hit points of damage. Cinder is wiped out with a massive blow.
My head, which was stove in on one side in a previous fight, it gets stove in on the other.
Dead with good strategy, by the way. There was everything about that was good strategy.
You bet.
Okay, Clinton Trucks, I have some extra characters because we still have a half hour.
I was so excited to play Luft, but that's not even an option any longer.
No. How quickly do you think that another person could arrive at the Caves of Chaos, Clinton Trucks?
I think there's probably a thief trying to plunder another cavern
Fire
around
a
here,
flare gun,
which I need 5 minutes to roll up.
Okay, take your time. It's down to Fffilbrth, and
Oh, no.
look, he's even off screen now. It's down to Fffilbrth and Montgomery.
my
So
God.
it is your turn again, and we'll start with movement. Would anybody like to move?
How does
is there
the
a
ogre
direction
look?
in which?
He looks very hurt. I mean, Cinder did not die in vain. He put his sword into that thing's chest, and he's like, gouts of blood are coming out, but the thing passed its morale roll, so you can smell its breath right now. It smells like a cow pie.
Is there a direction in which the corridor narrows?
Yeah, so this left hand corridor, which I think you went down a little bit, Fffilbrth, it does narrow a bit when you get about 20 to 30 feet down.
Okay, I should have plenty of range if I can still see it if it doesn't turn.
You can, because not only is it still highlighted sort of by the light coming in from the entrance here, like you have your infravision. So
Yeah. So I'm going to move well far down where it narrows and presumably outside of its melee range and fire another arrow, which I have 200 feet of range on the longbow. So
great. So you'll move there, and then it is missile attacks time. So go ahead. I'm sorry. Where would Montgomery like to move?
What is the protocol if my desired move is dropping a torch at its feet and running off? Is there no possible option to run after?
Isn't that truly strange? It says for me to resolve movement right now. I guess I'm going to have to make some sort of ruling. I'm going to say a minor action, you pull and light a torch, I'll allow you to drop it and run. Is that what you'd like to do? Yeah, it's I mean, like, look, you guys only have strategy in this style of game. You don't have a bunch of skill checks. So I'm going to allow it. Minor action, you pull out a torch, you light it, you drop it, and you run back with Fffilbrth. And now we'll resolve our missile attack. Fffilbrth, would you like to fire?
yeah.
Great.
And I got a 16, which I really hope hits.
That hits.
Okay, great. And here comes the damage roll. I got a 5.
Fffilbrth, it had 5 HP left. You just slew an ogre.
Yeah!
Its body, its body ignites. There's probably a lot of oils and gases inside of an ogre. And so it starts burning quite strong. Quite a strong blaze kind of, and it's lighting up the entire cavern.
I hope that you just see like an old man like running your way with flames behind, like we got him.
Oh, my Lord High Papa will be so proud of me.
There's only one problem, guys. The exit to this cave is now a raging inferno.
Great. All right. Well,
back in that other tunnel, like back, you know where it all forks down there, you can see the fire blazing. You hear sturges, like what's left of them, like flapping around because there's smoke, there's fire. It's agitated them. But
okay.
you're all the
We
way
head
back down
down
this tunnel.
We head down this tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
I got the infravision, so I'll go first with an arrow knocked.
Very good. You step out.
We do high five. We do high five. We high fives.
Yeah. So the tunnel has narrowed. And then you step out into kind of a more open space. This space is probably about 20 feet across, 40 feet long, and there is someone in this area. Is there?
Well, what they actually find is a dead body, because in this character creation, I rolled a Constitution of 3, and I died in character creation when I rolled my hit points. So,
Clint, okay. You find a dead body.
Making a new character now.
I'm gonna roll with that, and I guess every time Clint rolls a dead guy, we'll just find another body. So there is a dead thief in the middle of this kind of little open area in the caves.
Does said thief have anything on him though?
Exactly,
I never rolled
right?
for my money. I died too soon in character
Don't
creation.
worry, I have a table for that. You guys,
He's got a table for everything.
Also tell you, you can see that there is a tunnel that kind of turns around a corner off to your left, and then there's one heading straight north ahead of you. So you came out of that thin tunnel out into the clearing, and then if you keep going, there's another tunnel heading north, or you can head off to the left kind of around a corner, okay? And you searching the body, Montgomery? I mean, enacting last rites.
Yes. Holy water here. Bless your soul.
Okay. You find nothing. Wait. No, maybe you find something. Yeah, you find something. I'm an ass. I got that wrong. Wait 1 second. Okay. Ooh, interesting. Okay. This is quite a complex table, everybody. Ooh, okay. Sorry, guys. I almost have it. Here we go. Okay. You find a spear on him. A spear.
I mean,
All
I've
of
already got
those
5
rolls?
spears, so if you want a spear.
I know.
All of those rolls led to one spear?
You could have rolled a useless bauble. You could have rolled money, gems, objects, or weapons, tools and weapons. And the table finally, you plinkoed all the way down to a spear.
Okay. I will take the spear and do you need this, Fffilbrth?
No, I got 5 spears.
Okay.
And that's plenty of spears for me.
You said there are like multiple exit. Oh, you know what? I will drag the body into the walkway that we just came from, so that if the fire moves down the tunnel, it's just one extra thing for it to burn through.
Great.
You know?
I mean, when you look into like kind of where the tunnel narrows, it doesn't look like the fire is spreading because it's kind of cold, damp stone in here.
Is there anything else? Can we just like search this room?
You can. So do they find someone else, Clinton Trucks? Do they find someone? Does someone suddenly come wandering out into this area? Or is this person also dead?
No, well, this person is not dead, although he does have 1 hit point. That said, that is at full hit points, so he is hale and hearty to the naked eye. You hear the voice of a man shouting the name of his friend. Zangman, Zangman, and I turn around and I see my dead thief friend. Oh, what happened?
Well, this man died in childbirth. He died when he was being born. He was never alive.
Very nearly. Well,
hello.
I find myself in need of friends. Barnard Bristlebrush, I have no backstory, and I've clung to you.
You'll find no friends here, but you can come with us.
I'm an elf. What do you do?
I'm a thief. I do it poorly, but I will do it with great vigor on your behalf.
Great.
And suddenly, one of your other bandit friends comes running out into the clearing because I just rolled a wandering monster table and I got bandit. And it only makes sense that this is one of your party, Barnard Bristlebrush.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense that it would be someone trying to bandit from you. So this guy comes out, and his name is Trellick Trove. And Trellick Trove is like, Barnard, you're alive.
I'm fine, but poor Zangman.
Zangman, good.
Tell Chonkles
God.
and the rest to prepare the funeral rites.
He feels the dead body's pulse, and he goes, he's dead.
Stone cold.
This game just makes you create so many characters so quickly. You guys had to create all these guys out of nothing.
Well, it's fun. It's like they had a whole party of thieves in here, and
yeah,
you know what killed Zangman?
So it goes.
Bristlebrush, talk to me, man. You're hysterical. Do you know what killed Zangman?
I'll tell you what killed him. This poorly chosen career of ours. No more banditry for me. I'm going to follow these fine, upstanding people.
I'm telling you, this place is filled with gold.
Are you looking to be absolved of your sins? I'll hold out my holy symbol.
I want nothing more.
And I spit on your gods, old man. The only god is the almighty gold piece. And I'm not leaving these caves until I find my fortune.
He has a gold
Attack
piece.
this man.
I throw Zangman's spear at him.
Yes, I wanted to kill him. I swing at him.
Okay, guys, make an attack against him.
Okay.
I
Never mind that having more people is a good idea in this area.
Yeah, what are you guys doing killing our friendly NPC? This guy could take a hit later. Don't do this.
That's okay. I will
it's
certainly
too late.
miss.
They've
I rolled
called
a
it.
okay.
I'm saying
I miss. It's a 4, but I say, let that teach you a lesson. If you mess with us, we won't miss next time.
I rolled a 12. Is a 12 a miss?
Let's see. He has that
Uh-oh.
much AC. It is a miss.
Okay.
It is a miss. Right? Yeah, it's a miss. Sorry. So he's like, Bristlebrush, you traitor. You've gone soft, believing in this old man's gods. I'm going to take the treasure for myself. And he runs off away from you down a tunnel he doesn't take the north tunnel. He takes the tunnel that goes around the corner to the left.
Oh, that's the one I wanted to go down anyway, because we do want to get
Yeah.
out of here eventually. And that curves.
You can
In the
trigger
direction
all
of
the
out.
traps. This is good.
What a
Yeah.
great, it's great.
Let's follow
Nothing
him.
could go wrong. Absolutely. Okay, you follow him, and you come out into. Okay, so it curves around to the left. So it curves around, and then you could go down kind of a tunnel. But your infravision shows you that it's sort of a dead end. There's like a little bit of like a kind of cul-de-sac there. My friend, are the humans using some kind of light source? Because this deep, the fire you set at the entrance is no longer going to help you.
Bernard, light the way for an old man.
I will do you one better, old man. I will light a lantern and I will put it in your hand because I ain't carrying it.
I don't offer any hands.
Then I leave
Jesus
the lantern
Christ.
on the ground.
Somebody carry the lantern. This is why
No.
elves have infravision, is we don't have to worry about who's carrying the fucking lantern. It's in our eyes.
Bristlebrush, don't you want to absolve yourself? You let an old man, and my feeble bones could barely lift this.
When I took your god to my bosom and he did not let my spear fly true, I knew he had already abandoned me.
So you suddenly hear a spine-tingling scream from Pt.3, who has run up ahead. He's gone through kind of like so there's that little cul-de-sac to your left, but if you keep going forward, there's kind of another kind of choke point where it looks like there's kind of like almost a doorway into a much larger space. And that is where Pt.3's scream is coming from.
Is it
Trove
ongoing,
had a piece of
or has
gold
it
on it.
ended? Oh.
It's ongoing at the moment. It's ending now.
We just wait
Cold.
for it to be done.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think your friend is deceased.
Safe bet.
And now you can see that there is a little bit of light flickering in that, and past that sort of doorway within.
I'm going to
can I-
sneak through the. Oh, please.
I mean, you guys want to peek in there? Or you want to go home?
We literally.
Oh, we don't know how to get
gained
home. We can't
nothing.
leave. I forgot.
Well, maybe you can. It's just dealing with the fire at the entrance.
Oh, okay. Let's peek inside. I want to take a little.
Yeah.
Can I just be stealthy with my infravision and just like?
Absolutely. And then if someone has sneaking, do you have sneaking, my friend, the thief?
Yes, I have thief skills, and among
Oh,
those
sneak in
is
there.
Move silently.
I'll be. Well, I'll wait. I gotta pee, but I want to see what this is.
Yeah, me too.
I want to see what it is.
too. I gotta look at this thing and find out.
I'm
Hey,
gonna
Clint.
sneak up in there.
Okay, give me your sneak roll, my friend. What do you now? So let's explain how sneaking rolls work in this old school system. You got to roll a d6, right? And you've got to get what, a 1 or a 2?
Yes, here are my chances of success. So for move silently, no, I take it back. It is actually a percentile, and I am rolling.
Oh, great. What is your percentage?
20%. It's
Okay,
great
go
to be
for it.
first level. Okay, here we go. I rolled a 51, so by no measure is that a success.
So that means I'm going to roll something for this creature because it's a little busy chopping up Pt.3 right now. So you look in, and you're quite loud, actually, Bristlebrush. And you look in, and there is an enormous beast with the head of a bull and an enormous axe. And it's just chopping Pt.3 into pieces. Its entire chamber in here is decorated with bones and skulls that have been formed into decorative patterns. There's a big slab on one wall, like a sarcophagus or something. And Pt.3's not wrong. There are some large chests in here, but right now it's not seeing you. It's occupied with Pt.3.
Flee. Flee.
Yeah, I think flee is the move. I will flee.
Great. You're fleeing? You're just fleeing?
Just fleeing.
Okay, that time it hears you. Because you
Sneaky
didn't
flee.
silently.
Sneaky flee.
And
Nope.
so you hear it kind of like
I blow
snorting
past these
angrily.
guys.
Okay, everybody's running, is that right?
Yes. We're all
Yeah,
gonna,
yeah.
Here
We're
we
gonna
go.
run
Let's
back to
all
the
roll
fire.
initiative. Roll initiative for your side, Clinton Trucks.
Okay. 2.
It also rolled a 2. Let's roll again.
And 1.
It also rolled a 1. Roll again.
Whoa.
Can I roll
I
this
guess there's
time,
only
Clint?
6 possibilities.
4.
Yeah, you roll it this time, Fffilbrth.
He already
Okay.
he got it. He said it 4.
What'd you get?
4.
Okay, you guys go first. Let's do it. Move.
Run.
Double move action, maximum speed. Roll
Double
for
move action.
extra guts check.
Montgomery?
Super
What about
Skill and
you?
agility.
Montgomery,
Every
what about
rule is
you?
exhausted in fleeing.
Yeah, I'll flee.
Okay.
Flee.
It will double move action after you, carrying its huge bloody axe, but it's not catching up to you. And now you find yourselves out of the area, back in that big kind of area where you met the thieves, and you can see the kind of thinned passage that you need to go down. Let's go move. Who's moving?
How big is it? Oh, is that it?
It's like that. Yeah, it's like that. It's like that guy.
So when you say narrow passageway, how
could it make it? Could it make it?
Right, is this another?
I'll probably have to roll for it to see if it can make it.
So
Let's do some kind of roll.
If
we're saying double move, is that a thing in old school?
I'm gonna allow it to be. I mean, you guys are saying we just want to run. We're not taking
Yeah.
pot shots at it. We're not. Yeah.
If it seems like that tunnel is not gonna be narrow, if I think that it's gonna follow us in there, could I trip Barnard?
You can't trip a guy in front of you.
Wow.
How are you in front of us when you went
I
into
blew
the
past
cave?
you. I blew
He did
past
say
you.
that
How?
he blew past you. He did say that he blew past you.
But you
Both
could just
of you
say
roll
that
under
you blew past.
Both of you try to roll under your decks.
Under?
Yeah, try to roll under it on a d20.
Sure. This is not going to go well for me because Josephine's stats are so good.
Oh no!
But-
Don't you remember?
Oh yeah,
Dex
this is your bad
stat?
stat. Hell yeah. Well, I rolled exactly my dex, which is 11.
I rolled way over it.
Okay, so no tripping occurs, but I am going to rule that our friend Montgomery is back here at this choke point kind of tunnel. The rest of you can run down it. Bristlebrush,
Yep.
Fffilbrth, is that what
I'm
you're
doing
doing?
it. Yep.
I can't believe
Headlong.
Running towards the
Bristlebrush,
exit.
Fffilbrth? Okay, so you keep fleeing, and now I can tell you that it's this thing's turn, and because you were trying to trip Bristlebrush, Montgomery, I mean, you're a dastardly character, so it was well within your role playing specs, but this thing is going to take a swing at you. What is your AC?
It's 5.
Okay. And this thing is a nasty boy. He's a nasty boys. Let's see.
Harry Gygax is a full jerk.
Your AC is 5. Sorry guys, let me get this. We got to do this right. We can't goof this. We got to get this one by the numbers. Don't want to kill Josephine's character if I don't have to. Okay. Here he is. All right. He's got a THAC0 of...
Ho-ho.
You said your AC is 5?
Yeah.
He hits.
Okay.
He hits. He's a big, nasty mother. And he does...
How many hit points you got, Josephine?
He only does 1 hit point of damage.
I've got 7 total though, so.
Woo.
He does 1 hit point of damage to Montgomery Hornbach. I guess maybe his axe just kind of scrapes the back of your armor or something. And now it is everybody else's turn. Are we moving?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, so
escape.
I'll get to Hornbach in a second because his movement's important. But the other two, you should know that there is a blazing fire at the exit to the cavern.
God, who left that there?
Can we run through the fire?
Wow.
You can, but
Mr.
I
One
think we
hit
should-
point, Bristlebrush.
We should adjudicate.
So-
we should adjudicate whether you get through it without getting burned, right? How do we
Yeah.
think a fair way to do
Can we
that
talk
would
about
be?
this fire? So it's the fire from a flask of oil, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's like an oil fire. It can't be more than like
Clinton trucks, if you are trying to retro spec the fire so that it is out or has not
Of
happened.
course I am.
No, I'm not allowing that. Quit trying to go back in time to before I said there was a fire burning right now. The fire is burning.
I have one hit point. The only power I have.
Ogres, in this universe, ogres are filled with flammable gases. It has continued to burn. What are you doing to get around it or handle it?
I assume bristlebrush is highly
through
flammable.
it if you want.
Okay, I'm gonna take the 10-foot pole. All right, and I'm gonna lay it over the corpse of the ogre. I'm gonna toss it down so we can sort of walk. I'll be a little bit higher over the fire. Does that make sense? To make a bridge with the 10-foot pole. Does that make sense?
Spit roast?
If that doesn't make any sense, I have another
What about
plan.
a pole vault?
It doesn't make sense, but
Okay.
what's
Okay.
the other
In
plan?
that case, I could take my water skin. I got a water skin. It's not very much water. Okay, pole vault it is. I'm going to pole vault with the 10-foot pole.
If this is a flammable gas issue, we could put more holes in the ogre and try and get all of the gas.
Or we just run through and try to jump over the flames with our decks. Don't roll to see if the Minotaur is doing something because we're taking too long to
you got to
decide.
tell me what you're doing because I'm going to adjudicate what happens based on what you do. How are you
Pole
getting
vault.
through this fire? Pole vaulting with a 10-foot pole in a cavern, which I clearly said had 8 feet of height. You smash into the cavern top. You fall down. You take 3 damage from the fire. And Fffilbrth, since you didn't say you were pole vaulting yet.
Fffilbrth, not pole vaulting. Fffilbrth just being a good dexterous elf who does a lot of forest training and shit is just gonna try to be light on his feet and run through the fire as quickly as possible. He's gonna try to jump on top of the ogre's. If there's a little unflaming part of the ogre sticking out of the top, he's gonna try to land on that and just fucking obstacle course his way through very dexterously.
That I will allow with a roll d20 under your dex roll.
Okay. Got a 50-50 shot here. I did it!
Nice. You take no damage. You dance
5.
along the fire and over the burning corpse of Barnard Bristlebrush, who was a living character for approximately...
Wait, did you die?
Oh, did he actually die?
I just died in a pole vaulting accident.
DM. I thought that was a sassy DM, not a real thing.
No, that's real. He pole vaulted into the ceiling, fell into the fire. That happened.
If this game was running longer, I would try and kill one more character. If I could do 4 in a session, I think it's a record.
Okay, it is now Montgomery Hornbach's turn. Montgomery Hornbach, where do you go? What do you do?
I'm running. I don't know how far I get if I get to the
so that tunnel, as you surmised, is a little too thin for the Minotaur to easily move through. And you see it kind of, right after you go in, maybe you look back for a second, or do you not? Do you look back?
No.
Okay, never mind. You keep moving down the thin cavern. You're coming to where you see the burning bodies of the ogre and Bernard Bristlebrush clutching one of Traven Gorm's 10-foot poles in his hands as it burns lustrously. And what are you going to do as you come to this fire?
Does this ogre take up the entire entrance? Or is
no,
there...
it doesn't block the entrance. It's just kind of on the ground right inside, and there's a lot of flame coming up from it.
Okay, but there's an area that's presumably on fire, but not walking over an ogre. Is there space? I meant to the entrance.
You could walk around. You could walk around it, but you're still gonna chance the flames a little bit.
Right. There's fire, but there's not an ogre in it. It's a walkway out. Well then, I'm going to grab my cloak, wrap it all around, and stop, drop, and roll out that way.
Ooh, stop, dropping, and rolling. I like that a lot. Actually, what kind of cloak do you have? Do you have an
No, I don't have an official cloak.
You don't have an official
cloak?
I'm just rolling a D4 of damage against you.
Okay.
Here we go. Let's see how you do. Sorry, everybody. I just want to adjudicate this correctly. I'm looking at our friend Montgomery. You take 4 damage. You've taken
Still
5
up,
total,
still
but you have
up.
7. You come
I'm still
rolling
up.
out with your
Wow.
cloak on fire, throwing it off of you. You and Fffilbrth roll out into the sunlight. When the Minotaur, you can hear it kind of screaming behind you, but it won't go past the fire. Right? No, it won't. And so you run out into the sunlight, and you run down into the valley as you know what? The ogre explodes behind you like it's an action movie from the 90s. You guys look like Damon Wayans and Samuel L. Jackson for a second, just like jumping from the flames. And there's a big mushroom cloud of fire. And then the Valley of the Caves of Chaos is quiet.
We go home and go to sleep.
And that is where we will end for tonight.
I didn't get to introduce my 4th character, Chonkles Bristlebrush, the brother of Barnard.
No, he doesn't exist. Chonkles
really like-
Bristlebrush?
I established that one of the bandits was named Chonkles before Barnard died. So,
This is a great adventure. I mean, this was
That was
amazing
amazing.
today.
That was so great. And it's so scary and fraught. And I loved it. I really
was
fucking
great.
loved it.
Fffilbrth leaving without a scratch on him, just like to Monty. Oh, did you get a little burnt? Oh, I'm just you know.
dancing through the
Oh,
raindrops.
this just makes me feel alive again.
This is what people think. You know, this was fun to watch. We gave Elisa a laugh.
I liked
Thinks
when we met.
She's enjoying herself.
I liked when we met a party of 3 thieves, all of whom died within 5 minutes of meeting them.
One died during character creation.
I mean, they had no faith, you know. They all turned away.
One just crumpled and died of diabetes before we even met him.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know what's in that cave now.
Yeah, piles of bodies.
That one was full of trouble. Maybe go back to that kobold cave next time for some easy gold mining. I don't know.
Oh my goodness, this is so much fun.
Dude,
Yeah, this is
Josephine,
great.
thank you for being here. Adam, Clint, I love you guys. You were so fantastic. Guys, follow them on all their socials. Keep up with what they're doing. Watch their stuff. Listen to their stuff. Thank you, guys. I'll say goodnight, and I'll hang out for a minute to do our final closing credits. Bye, Joe.
Bye. Thanks so
Bye.
much.
While we cut Adam off. Actually, Clint, do you want to come back out and help me say goodbye?
Oh, we're done.
Just
He's like,
salting,
no, I don't.
just salting the wound.
I'm sorry, my friend. Well, look, now I just want to point out something to the viewers at home. Clint, you died twice tonight. How are
Yes.
you doing emotionally, buddy?
I feel fine about it. I don't think I had necessarily invested either character with enough elan, with enough,
Elan
Yeah.
is a great word.
Yeah.
Elan vital.
yes. Like, this is a game in which if you get somebody to level 2 or 3 and they die, you worked to get there and you will
That's
feel
sad,
quite bad when
right?
they die.
Yeah.
Whereas, and boy, oh boy, that level 2 and 3 characters are pretty much just as fragile as level 1 characters. So these things can happen.
I will say I had a blast the first 2 times we played, but this is the night that it really took off for me, and I'm
Yeah.
starting to learn the rules a little bit. But I just wanted to point out to people, Clint died. He's not crying. He's not mad at me, right, Clint?
What?
You're not mad at me that your characters died, right?
Me?
Okay.
No,
okay.
no, that's fine.
He's,
No.
he's a little pissed, but it's okay.
I'm not mad. Not mad in the slightest.
You'll be surprised how often you play with adults and their character dies and they're like, wow. Well, thanks for the game. That was really fun.
It's the Whipmaster all over again, Jared.
Oh, yes. Have we talked about the Whipmaster on the stream?
I don't think we ever have. No.
Tell them quickly the story of the Whipmaster, and then we'll say our goodbyes.
I was playing a game of sort of Weird West with some friends, and I had a job I hated and spent all day making a character I called Dylan McClintock, the Whipmaster. an incredibly complicated GURPS character who is good at the whip. And within the first 5 minutes, another player drew a shotgun and I disarmed him with my whip. He drew a second shotgun and shot me in the stomach and I died. And then I went home.
Guys,
The whip
that's
master.
what's fun about role-playing games. If you don't get that, I don't know how to help you. What's coming up? We have Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific. Oh, no. First, let's start at 4 p.m. Pacific. We have Campaign Promises. Me and Clint will be playing the Campaign Promises again, pitching each other our dream campaigns on the Stereo app. Please go to get the Stereo app off the App Store or whatever you use and download it and listen to us. It really helps us support the stream.
It's also super fun, and I promise a lot of other people who you dig are also doing shows on the Stereo app. There's a lot of good
Ross
content
Bryant.
right now. Ross Bryant does a
The
great
Glass
show.
Cannon.
Can I pitch one of the shows Ross did, which I think is the greatest thing that's ever been made in any medium?
Of course.
Ross did a show in which he and Greg Hess played 16th century alchemists. It was called The Time Cloak. They traveled from the 16th century to modern day, and they did minute by minute reviews of modern anime. And the first episode is just them watching Full Metal Alchemist.
They're
And
actual alchemists.
It's an incredible hour of entertainment. Get into it.
I gotta be honest with you, even with you describing it, I don't even know what that sounds like, so I've got to find it somehow.
Just trust Ross was fully committed.
I trust. So that's the Stereo app. That's our show Campaign Promises. And then on Thursday at 6 p.m., there's a new Neptune Society, but I am not the keeper this time.
7 p.m., Jared. 7 p.m.
Okay, we'll make it 7 p.m. if you insist. Andrew Orvidal, our good friend, player, the guy who's created some games recently and done some GMing for me off stream, is going to be running a new scenario for the Neptune Society entitled The Harvest.
Indeed. And our players are going to be great for that game.
Yes.
I was distracted. Did you say who they were?
No, I did not.
Oh, let's let folks know, because it's awesome. We're going to be joined by Henry Zabrowski of the Last Podcast on the Left, and Your Pretty Face is Going to Hell, and some of the best scenes in Wolf of Wall Street. He's great. Nora Ibrahim, who's on basically every great actual play. Can't get enough of her. And Harlan Kelly, who is the game master over at the Better Than Heroes podcast. So it's going to be a killer group.
That'll be fantastic. And then Saturday, we're back with more Blood and Blades, our Blades in the Dark interconnected universe. That's at 6 p.m. Pacific. And this time we will be playing with the Kinohora, a group of shadows who are determined to steal back their Skovlan heritage.
And this is a downtime session after a very chaotic score in which they unleashed a golem who wrecked a large portion of a neighborhood. So
yeah, the Golem of Char Hollow was released, and then on Sunday we're back with more Vampires of Pittsburgh Lockdown. Last session, you got to go watch it if you haven't already. It was a big giant whammy climax with lots of cool stuff happening, and this time we'll be picking up the pieces. But there's cool pieces to pick up.
Oh yeah, we're saying it about every game we're playing right now, but it's just true. But boy, oh boy. Vampires of Pittsburgh is going great guns. Catch up, guys, because it's as good or better than it's ever been. It's so good.
I will just say, I've run a fair number of campaigns for many sessions outside of the stream, but having a stream has you run them. You kind of committed to running them like weekly for a long time, and when you do that, holy shit, do you get new stuff out of your campaigns. So start a stream, I guess. So I also want to say we are a podcast. Please download, rate, and review it. The Stream of Blood podcast. You can catch up on old episodes of Vampires of Pittsburgh in audio form. Please hit that up. Also, we are on Twitter. We are on Twitch with special things for subscribers, the faction turn in our Blades game, and an upcoming vampire subscription thing that I haven't figured out yet. I just don't know quite what it is yet, but it's not a faction turn, guys. It's not a faction turn. We have one of those for Blades in the Dark, so we'll think of something cool for Vampire. We're also gonna have more stuff coming for all of the games. We need to think of something for THAC0. Anyway, get on Twitch and subscribe. We're on Facebook. We are on Instagram. Did I say that one? And the best place to get in touch with us is where, Clinton?
The Discord, for sure. There's a great conversation going on. It's a great community who's gathered up around it. I'm happy every day when I bounce over there and see what everybody's talking about. So
absolutely. That's about it. I want to say thank you to Clinton Trucks, my co-game master and a fantastic player, and a producer and partner, Brian Baldinger, our other producer and partner, Megan Arch, our social media manager, Matt Moynihan, our YouTube content producer. Keep an eye out for a new GM Toolbox every Tuesday, how to make your game better. And thank you to Garrett Ross for our logo and Andrew Orvidal for our opening animation.
Want to answer a THAC0 question I think is pretty good?
Sure, yeah. Will you be trying more modules on THAC0 Tuesday? Great question. I do want to. I'm particularly... Well, what do you think, Clint? I'm particularly excited to do like some of the new school modules. They're old school, but they were made recently.
Absolutely. So I will say that these games... Old school D&D is a game of inches, as you can see. We rarely get more than 50 feet inside a cavern before we are pushed out. So I think you could get a lot of play just out of Keep on the Borderlands here. So
my feeling is there is actually, if you've read the Keep on the Borderlands, you know that even though, and Clint, I don't want you to use this knowledge in the game, there is sort of...
You're in luck. I'm dead.
Oh, right. Well, I want you to come back, though, every time. There is a sort of, there are a couple sort of built-in climaxes in the Keep on the Borderlands that they may stumble across soon or not ever, really. But we'll play it till the wheels fall off, the Keep on the Borderlands, and then we will bring something else out. And I think it'll be a little bit like our Vampire series, where it's kind of like we did like 30 episodes of something, and then it became a new kind of series for a while. So now it's locked down. I think that'll be the same thing here. This will be the first THAC0 Tuesday, but then later you'll see THAC0 Tuesday, the Isle of Blood, and we'll be running like Castle Ravenloft or one of these really cool new school things by like Gavin Norman or somebody like that.
Yeah, I mean, the entire intention when we made this was to create a setting where we could kind of put any story we wanted to tell. So that's what the Far Seas is.
Right. And, when they have enough money, this book has rules for sea travel and the kind of things you could meet as you travel out on the seas. So eventually our adventuring party could save up for a boat and say, fuck the Isle of the Sword. We are heading out into the waters. We want to see what's beyond the Isle of the Sword. And so that's really exciting. But I want to stick to the old school style and really let it all kind of evolve organically instead of, kind of coming up with a storyline like we do in our other games.
Agreed.
All right. Thanks again, Clint.
No problem. We don't get to play as many at-home games as we once did, so it's good to play with you. Thanks.
It's good to play with you, buddy. Until next time, listen to Sabbath, read your Warlock comics, and keep it old school. See you guys later. Stop me before I blow a kiss.